Since 1939, kids from our Winchester neighborhood have been walking and busing to this little school on Harlem Road. Before we move on to a larger building, we wanted to take a few minutes to reflect on the decades of memories made in these classrooms and remember the people who made it such a special place. The students, teachers, parents, and staff.
We are the Winchester History Detectives. One sunny day in September, we set off to learn as much as we could about Winchester elementary history. We looked for clues.
Around the building. And outside.
After snooping around, we made a list of even more questions we had. Then we headed to the West Seneca Historical Society Museum. The ladies there were very nice.
Miss Double gave us a tour and told us stories about when she used to teach music at Winchester.
Mrs. Doppler is the Historical Society president.
We talked with Mrs. Eschner, who was both a student and teacher at Winchester. She brought us a picture of her mother-in-law, Mrs. Eschner. She was the school board president when the new addition was built.
We found out that she was the 1953 Citizen of the Year in West Seneca.
The Winchester area was once Indian land. It was sold to the Winchester Land Company. Lots were sold and the area became known as Winchester. The Seneca rail yards were nearby. As the area developed, the streets were named after towns the railroad passed through, such as Collins Ave, Bradford Street, Aurora Street, and Arcade Street, etc.
There were two schools in the Winchester community in the 1930s. St. William's Parish School and Aurora Street School. The Aurora Street School had 4 rooms and held grades 1 through 8. There were 2 grade levels per room. During the Great Depression in 1935, Father James Carter became pastor of St. William's Church. In 1936, he was forced to close the school because the parish simply could not continue to heat and maintain the building. The approximately 100 students had no alternative but to attend the Aurora Street School. This doubled the student population and forced the Aurora Street School to hold double sessions. Grades 2, 4, 5, and 8 attended the morning session, and grades 1, 3, 6, and 7 attended the afternoon sessions. The school board met and began planning to have a new school built on Harlem Road. They applied for a WPA project loan and were given the money to begin work.
They hired Bly and Lyman Architects. Dwayne Lyman was one of the top architects at that time. Local newspapers described him as the Dean of Western New York architecture. He also designed many important Buffalo buildings at that time, including the Saturn Club on Delaware Avenue, the Buffalo Federal Courthouse, and Buffalo Country Club. The new school was completed in 1939. On the Monday after Thanksgiving, November 27th, the students moved into the new building. A parade was held and students walked from the Aurora Street School to the new Winchester School, each carrying a bag of books. Mr. Ferrand was the principal then. Hugh Neeson led the parade as a first grader. This is a photo of Principal Ferrand and Hugh Neeson in 2005. Mr. Ferrand will be 100 years old in January. What else happened in 1939? Buffalo was a booming city. The Buffalo Odd was built in 1939.
In 1939, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was president of our country. Hugh Lehman was New York's governor. And Frank Slade was the Seneca town supervisor. During the 1950s, the community continued to grow, and Winchester School became very crowded. The Board of Education voted to add an addition onto the school.
In 1955, the addition was completed. An auditorium was built and a cafeteria was added. The stage in the gym was eliminated and locker rooms were installed. 10 classrooms were added. The cost was at about $600,000. Mr. Lyman was the architect for the new wing. In a letter to the Board of Education in 1954, Mr. Lyman writes, "Placing the auditorium to the front gives a much more adequate play area in the rear of the building." In 1955, Dwight D. Eisenhower was the first president. Thomas Dewey was the governor of New York, and Albert Geis was the West Seneca town supervisor.
Perfect.